Greetings, Inspiry fam, and welcome to Love Inspiry YouTube. There is a whole lot I want to talk about when it comes to infidelity. Not just the simple fact that 20 to 40% of marriages end in divorce because of infidelity. There's a whole lot more that we need to discuss. Stick around, let's talk love, marriage, divorce, and cheating. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Love Inspiry YouTube channel. This is the breakover series where we talk about divorce, what causes it and how we can prevent it. I am Angie, the founder of Love Inspiry LLC, where our mission is to build more powerful, more transparent, and more durable relationships. And we do that by helping couples overcome their relationship adversity as well as preparing individuals to enter healthy relationships. According to the APA, 15 to 20% of married couples cheat. And while that wasn't the statistic that got me in a frenzy, it was very alarming. This is what was most alarming though, the fact that with age, you are more likely to cheat. It was reported that couples that have been married for 20 to 30 years and that are between the ages of 50 and 60 are more likely to commit infidelity. And my mind was like, what? You know, when you are older, you should be more wise, you should be more mature, you should be thinking about your decisions a little bit better and the consequences to these decisions that you make. And so I was blown away that people in their 50s and 60s and that have been married for an extended period of time would commit infidelity. You would think that would be something younger people would do, or people that don't have any wisdom in their mind would do, not somebody that's between the ages of 50 and 60 and that had been married for an extended period. But after I got out of my little state of shock, I realized that 20 to 30 years of marriage, that's a very long time to be married, especially in these days that we are living in. And so what I started to realize was 20 to 30 years, maybe these people have gotten bored. Maybe they haven't done the work during the marriage to keep that spice alive, to keep that relationship thriving and happy and just what it was supposed to be, what it's meant to be. Marriage is meant to be fun. It's meant to be excitement and enjoyment and all the good things. It's not meant to be something that you just have to constantly work at, like you get up and go to a job every day and you have to, it becomes gruesome. Of course you have to put in effort, but it shouldn't be gruesome effort. It should be effort that you desire. You should be willing to make your relationship work and keep it thriving. But if you're not doing the work 20 years in, you start to realize, or you start to think, I don't really like this person. And then you start stepping out and you start doing all these things. Had you done the work during the relationship every day, you wouldn't have gotten to this position to where you feel like you have to commit infidelity. And so it started to make sense once I really sat down and continued my research and thought about some things of that's what it is. That's why that statistic is so true, and I believe it to be very true. Okay, so now we're going to get into some statistics. Why can't I say that word? Statistics. Okay, we're going to get into some statistics, men versus women. And first up is men. As you probably are aware, men are more likely to cheat than women is what the statistics show. And I'm not too surprised by that because, and it's the simple fact that women are more invested, right, in relationships. And women are more nurturing. Women are more aware. Our attention span is a little bit better than a man's. And so I realize with a man, if he gets bored easily or he's not getting what he needs, he's not going to communicate that. He's not going to talk to the person about that. He's just going to go do him. He's going to find somebody else to fill that void. Now, there are men that are dirtbags, but generally speaking, I feel like sometimes it really has nothing to do with the woman and everything to do with the man. Another statistic that I want to talk about, and I feel like I hate to put our black men down because I'm a black woman. I have different races in my family. My great grandparents were mixed and this thing. So it's, I can identify with different races. I can identify with all of that stuff. However, black men were reported to be more likely to cheat than white men or Hispanics. And I felt like this was significant to talk about because in the Black community, we are kind of taught to put things on the back burner. We are kind of taught that our feelings really don't matter. You get up and you just get over it, you do it. And, we are in this particular instance where we are not seeing a two-parent household, and if we are, it's not maybe the best two-parent household. It's not healthy. And so I feel like Black boys that turn into our men, they are not seeing how a man is supposed to treat a woman, healthy wise. They're not seeing how a man is supposed to love and honor his wife, protect her, provide for her. And so I feel like that is a valid statistic, for cultural differences. White families are more likely to come from two-parent households. I'm not saying that they don't have drama with them either. We all have drama with us. I always say everybody got some stuff with them, whether you admit it or not. And so So I thought it was really important to talk about that, and also just to encourage us. And this is why me and my sister have a book coming out, a children's book regarding this matter, because we have to start teaching our children that to strive for healthy families, to strive to be more than a baby's mother or a baby's father. And then if something happens and you do end up being that, be the best baby mother, baby father. Don't bring drama and stuff to the instance. But I'm getting to the situation. But I'm getting off topic, so let's move on to the next statistic. This one was really interesting because finances always plays a role into something into your relationship. So 15% of men who are financially dependent on their wife are more likely to cheat. And this really has everything to do with ego, okay? If you are lacking in one area, you need to fill the void in another area. I have this woman, she's taking care of me, she's doing all this for me, and I just feel empty on the inside. So I'm going to go bang another girl that I feel like is going to fill what's missing inside of me. And one thing that I want to say when it comes to women making more money than a man, when you're married, you're a team. Like, who cares? If you are making more money than so-and-so. My husband says this all the time, and I guess too, because we have joint everything. There's nothing separate about anything that we do in our marriage. So he's more like, listen, if you making money, I'm making money too. So I appreciate my husband when it comes to that, because he's so secure in himself that it doesn't matter if I made more money than him. It doesn't matter if if I'm thriving. No, if I thrive, he thrives. If he thrives, I thrive. We're going to thrive together. And I feel like we have to start looking at that more in marriages. We have to start viewing marriages more as, if you win, I win, and we're going to win together, period. Now on to the women. What are women doing in their cheating days? Okay, so it was reported that married women are 15% more likely to have emotional affairs than men. And so for me, an emotional affair is 10 times worse than a physical affair, because if I'm connecting with you emotionally, like, we're on a level of some serious depth, whereas I wouldn't do either one. Whereas it's just a sexual connection is just a sexual connection. Like, it's not that serious. So I thought this was a little bit more severe than just having sex with somebody. Now, of course, I wouldn't want to have my husband cheat on me in any kind of way, and I wouldn't cheat on my husband in any kind of way, but I do feel like an emotional affair is a little bit more severe, for the simple fact that emotions require the sharing of your feelings. Emotions require so much more than the physical component of somebody. Somebody's behind, somebody's breast, so the way somebody looks. Emotions run deep. They run deep. And if somebody is getting in the core of you, they're getting in the core. That's a connection right there. That's a connection that is just really kind of unbreakable. Like I said in the beginning, I feel like women are more prone to emotional affairs and attaching, because if you're not getting that at home, you're going to go seek it from somebody else. You're going to go, because women are naturally nurturers, and we're naturally more emotional than men. If we're not getting the emotion and the affection that we need, sometimes women will step out. Now, disclaimer, you have to be willing to talk to your partner and tell them what you are missing from the relationship. Nobody can fix what they don't know. So if you're not talking to them and expressing to them, hey, I'm missing this, you have no business stepping out and cheating on them unless something is really genuinely wrong with you, which I will talk about later. Some people are just scumbags. Some people are dirtbags. Some people don't know how to be loyal and faithful and honest and sincere in their relationship. I'll get to that later. But, talk to your partner to prevent those emotional affairs from happening. The next statistic is very, very much so accurate, I truly believe. Women ages 18 to 29 are more likely to cheat on their partner, married women that is, on their partner in the same age group. So women ages 18 through 29 are more likely to cheat than men ages 18 through 29 is what I'm saying. Whew, this really is just like statistics and remembering numbers and stuff. Like, it has me in a frenzy right now. But anyway, stay with me. This will make a whole lot of sense soon. I truly believe that because women can be buck wild. I think, and as a woman, I understand that everything is always blamed on the man, right? Men are dirtbags, men are this, that, and the third. But women just do stuff better because we are more logical in our thinking. We're more meticulous in how we move. So just because you don't hear about it often doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. Women are just a little bit better at doing certain things, organization, when it comes to men. And if you're having cheating partners and this, that, and third, you got to be a little bit organized to do all of that stuff. Okay, you got to be willing to jump through. That's like having a literal full-time job if you think about it. Cheating and having different partners and doing things and keeping people intact while maintaining a relationship with your husband or your wife. So I truly believe that. And I think that's all I have to say on that when it comes to young girls, young married women. And also sometimes you're just not ready to be married at that age. So you step out, you do things that you should not be doing. And if you feel like you have to do that, you shouldn't have gotten married in the first place. I was a young wife, 18 through 29. Cheating had never crossed my mind. However, because of all the adversity that you face, I do see where some people that are weak-minded can get weak and have that be a situation in their marriage. So let's talk about reasons why men and women cheat. Why is this such a thing? Why does it happen? First thing that I want to talk about is just they simply want to. Like I said earlier, some people are just scumbags. They're dirtbags. They don't know how to be faithful. And my thing is, why get into a marriage if you're not going to be faithful? It just really doesn't make any sense to me. Nobody holds a gun to your head and says, get married. No, you decide to do that on your own. And if you have a partner that is pressuring you to get married, then, that's still something that you decided to do. Nobody is can force you into marriage unless you're in one of those arranged families where they just do stuff like that. But for us here in America, no. Get married for the simple fact that you 110% believe that you can be faithful to this one person till death do you part, whether that is at 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, or 100. Till death do you part. Also, men and women cheat because of a midlife crisis. So this is more for men than women because I don't really know any women that go through midlife crisis. Our midlife crisis is the menopause stage. And that's just more like I'm hot and I'm annoyed with stuff, not that I want to go have sex with somebody else. Or maybe it could be. I don't really know because I haven't hit menopause yet. Anyway, I am thinking about this, and that's when I think about how it doesn't always have to do with the woman and what the woman is not doing in the relationship. Sometimes the man just goes out and he does something stupid. Now, I'm not condoning this because if you know me, I'm 110% against infidelity. I just don't understand the point of it. I don't understand why it happens. And I just think it's stupid to do. I'm getting a divorce before I cheat on my husband, period. It's not that serious to me. I'm not trying to put on for anybody. I'm not trying to be a certain type of way. I'm leaving you if I don't like you no more. I'm not about to sit out here and entertain somebody else just for it to dangle over my head, just for them to dangle it over my head, and I have to run around on eggshells and tiptoe. No.
Not doing it.
I'm leaving, period. Out of here. Done. People to then cheat also because of finances. So this is a big thing because finances, and I've been through finances personally, so I know how detrimental it can be to you, to your partner, and to the relationship. You know, nobody wants to be broke. Nobody thinks about being broke. And if you have a certain amount of stress on you, you can step out of the marriage. Like I said, if you're weak, if you have a weak mind, if you have a weak mindset, you can step outside of the marriage and commit infidelity because you're not strong enough to tackle and face your problems head on. Also, people tend to cheat when children leave the house because now you have dedicated all your time to the children, right? Because you know, naturally kids need you, so you're not giving as much to your significant other as you should because the children are here. So then when the children leave, it's like, wait a minute, I don't really know if I want to be alone with you now. I'm not really feeling this, you know. I don't know. I'm a little skeptical of spending the rest of my life with just me and you. And that's one of the reasons, you know, God rest my mother-in-law's soul. She always told me, as much as she wanted my husband and I to have kids, she always told me, take your time because the dynamic of your relationship will change. And I thank God, first of all, because if I got pregnant right when I got married, I would have been a teenage mother, and that would have been a whole nother disaster on top of trying to be a teenage wife and then figure out who I am, trying to be somebody's mother. Like, it just was not going to work. And so she always told me, take your time because your dynamic, your dynamic of your relationship, of your marriage will change because naturally this kid is relying on you. This kid needs you. I have been married for 14 years. At any point now, if I were to get pregnant, I would be totally satisfied and comfortable because my husband and I have built such a solid foundation together that we're just tight. We're just glued together. You know, we just didn't get married and have children. Like, we nurtured our relationship. We built a solid foundation to whereas, you know, when our kids leave, by the grace of God, and I'm hoping to God, we will still be able to first nurture our relationship while the kid is here. And then when they leave and she gets on out of the house and her brothers or sisters gets on out of the house or whatever, we can go back to, hey, you and I, like, thank God the kids are out of here. You know, we can get back to you and I because we have built so much time together. I'm not saying, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying wait 14 years to have children. Everybody's journey is different. That's just my journey because of getting married young and then going through what we did financially. I would have never wanted to bring a kid into a situation where they were eating in motels and couldn't have the food that they desired to have. So anyway, back to reasons why men and women cheat. Some people were just never really happy to begin with. Again, why get married if you're not happy? You need to be 100% content with yourself, and then you need to be 110% content in the relationship. People also cheat because of childhood trauma. Like I said, if you're not growing up seeing how a man is supposed to treat a woman naturally, or how a woman is supposed to treat a man, naturally you are not going to know how to navigate. You're not going to know how to, just psychologically, because you didn't see that growing up. So you don't know how to be that. Now, some people understand that, hey, I'm not going to let my past control me. Yes, it has shaped me, but I'm not going to let my past control me. And there's a difference between that. And I think I'll go into that on social media later this week. Also, people cheat because of differences. Again, when you get married, you have to have some type of conflict resolution skills because conflict will happen. You will have differences in your relationship, but the solution is not to cheat. The solution is, hey, we're going to work this out. We're going to work together. We're going to be a team. Also, like I said, emotional needs aren't being met. So people tend to cheat because they aren't emotionally attached. They emotionally detach from their significant other for whatever reason, and they seek somebody else to fill that void, maybe sexually or maybe emotionally or whatever the case is. They are going to somebody else to get what they are needing and missing from the relationship. And then also people cheat. This is the last reason I'm going to go over, is because maybe you just have a crappy partner. Maybe they just aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing. Sometimes it is the partner. Sometimes it is, now again, Not saying that's a go to go cheat, but sometimes it is a partner. And you know if you are doing your best in a relationship. You know if you are giving your all and being the best husband or wife you can to your husband or wife. You know that. I can't tell you that. Your partner can't tell you that, but you know on the inside. And so if you know you're not doing better, do better. Don't think that you can just skate by and let it just go on. When you know better, you do better. So if you are new to me, you're a follower, you've been following me for a while, I don't just talk about problems. I'm all about solutions because I believe in relationships. We cannot just express to our partner, I have an issue with you, or I'm mad at you, or I'm upset with you. No, listen. We have to come together and come to some kind of resolution. And so I want to give you some solutions to help you prevent infidelity from happening in your relationship. The first thing is to start being whole before you get married. People take being whole and being 100% happy with yourself for granted. If you are not whole, if you're not complete before marriage, do not expect marriage to do that for you. It's not going to happen. It's just going to add to your problems because now you're dealing with your internal issues on top of the issues that you will face in your marriage, because nobody's marriage is exempt. I don't care how anybody tries to sell it to you. Nobody's marriage is exempt from issues. Now, like I always say, your issues may not look like my issues. My issues may not look like your issues, but they are issues nonetheless, and we all have them. So be content with yourself, because when you are content with yourself and you're happy with yourself, you are more likely to resolve conflict a little bit better in your relationship, as opposed to stepping out in a relationship and bringing somebody else and getting somebody else involved into your marriage. It's not the healthy way to go. So be completely content, happy with yourself. That way you can give and pour into this relationship the best that you know how. The second thing is, this is really important. It's really important to know your weaknesses so you know what temptations to avoid. Don't put yourself into positions if you know you are a little bit more, like going to the strip club. If you know you like women or men, because there's, I guess, strip clubs for women too. If you know you like men, or if you know you like women, and you know you are susceptible to cheating, gosh, today is just really not a good day. If you know you are prone to cheat, if you know you are capable of cheating, don't go to a strip club. Don't surround yourself by people. Know your weaknesses. Weaknesses are not a bad thing. Your weaknesses are something that you can turn into strengths. And I have a workshop coming out on that a little bit later on this month, if I'm not mistaken. But know your weaknesses. Know where you need to do better at. Know where you need to avoid, places you need to avoid, people you need to avoid. You have to know your weaknesses. Your weaknesses is what will make you better, and what will make your relationship ultimately better. And the last thing that I want to talk about is setting boundaries with the opposite sex. So I know people talk about me when it comes to setting boundaries with the opposite sex, because I'm not talking to any ex. We're not going to be friends on Facebook. If I see you out in public, of course I'm going to speak and say hello, but we're not going to chit chat. We're not going to go down memory lane, because why? You start bringing up old stuff, then you start thinking about old feelings, and it's just not necessary to have in your relationship. Listen, I liked you for who you were then. Now we have some boundaries, because I'm a married woman now. Of course I can speak and say hello to you, but we don't need to talk on a level that we used to talk on, or even be friends. Like, what people have to realize is, you have to realize once you get married, your partner becomes more important than anybody else other than the good Lord. But anybody else on earth, that includes mother, father, anybody. Your partner becomes your number one focus of what is going to satisfy them, and what is going to strengthen my relationship, what is going to keep my relationship healthy. So setting boundaries with the opposite sex is very, very significant. Having in your dialogue, what you do on social media, what you say on social media, what type of posts you like on social media, the boundaries will keep your relationship respectable. It will keep your relationship honorable. If you don't have boundaries with the opposite sex, you're literally all over the place, and that's how infidelity happens. So I hope you have learned something from this and got some tips on how to prevent infidelity, and listen to the facts when it comes to it. It's crazy, some of the stuff that I was reading about people that cheat and commit infidelity in their marriage. but it is something that that we really need to talk about so we can work to prevent it. It's just really not necessary. To me, cheating is one of the dumbest things out there right now, and I just don't really understand the purpose of it. You know, what does somebody get out of it? How does that satisfy you in any type of way? But if you're a cheater and you're open, drop your comments below. We could talk about it. I just want to get some understanding, not really judging, but kind of judging when it comes to that. But drop your comments below, leave your thoughts, opinions. I'm all for that. Just keep them respectful. And guys, I will see you all in the next video. Thanks for tuning in. Have a blessed day.